Part 1. The ugly girl in HR. Greater than, you'll never be anything more than the ugly girl in HR. That sentence echoed in Emily's mind long after she heard it behind her back. She wasn't supposed to hear it. But she did. The words weren't just cruel, they were typical. At 26, Emily Gardner was used to being overlooked. She was quiet, unassuming, and wore budget clothes from second-hand shops. Her mousy brown hair was tied back in a way that said, "I didn't even look in the mirror today," and her round glasses magnified eyes too kind for a place like this. She worked in the HR department of Crescent Technologies, a mid-sized software company in Chicago. Her job was mostly paperwork, onboarding, payroll corrections, benefit enrollment, and rarely involved real interaction. That suited her just fine. Except when it didn't. "Emily," said Brianna, the marketing manager, one morning as she passed by. "Could you fix my direct deposit again? It's still messed up." Emily looked up from her desk. "Sure, just send me the most recent statement." Brianna didn't bother replying. She was already halfway down the hallway, her designer heels clicking like applause against the linoleum. Everyone at the office looked like they belonged to a world Emily didn't. Women wore sleek suits and heels, their makeup flawless. The men joked loudly near the coffee station, exchanging stories about vacations and gym routines. Emily had never even been invited to lunch. And she wasn't clueless. She knew how they saw her. One time, she heard someone refer to her as the gray cloud. Another time, someone posted a meme in a company group chat. It was a cartoon of a before and after makeover, showing a sad, frumpy girl on the left and a radiant beauty on the right. Someone had replied, "We should do this to HR Emily lol." The thread got 15 likes. Even the HR director, Nancy, once told her during a review, "You're good at what you do, but maybe a little polish could help you connect better with the team." Emily had nodded, but something inside her sank. She was tired of pretending that it didn't hurt. Childhood. A rough thread to start with. Emily's childhood didn't offer her much comfort either. Growing up in the small town of Decatur, she was the middle child of 5. Her parents worked long hours, her mother in a diner, her father as a mechanic, and affection was rationed, if offered at all. She learned early to disappear. She wore hand-me-downs, never had the trendy toys, and was always the quietest in class. That quiet turned into shyness, and the shyness turned into social invisibility. In high school, things got worse. Acne, braces, oversized sweaters. Boys never looked her way. Girls either ignored her or used her as a punching bag for their own insecurities. She escaped into sewing. It started when her grandmother gave her a battered old Singer machine and a pile of fabric scraps. Emily began stitching late into the night. She didn't even care about clothes at first. She liked the rhythm of it, the repetition, the control. Her hands could create order from chaos. That sewing machine became her best friend. By the time she graduated, she was making her own skirts and blouses. But she never wore them outside. She was too scared. What if someone laughed? So instead, she folded them neatly into her closet, her own secret world where she was someone else. Someone beautiful. Someone admired. Present day, broken needles and buried dreams. By 27, she had nearly forgotten that girl. She worked in HR now. Her dreams of fashion design buried deep under bills and realism. Chicago rent didn't pay itself, and student loans weren't forgiving. Still, every Sunday night, she sewed. She'd buy discount fabric from clearance bins or salvage pieces from thrift stores. Then she'd cut, stitch, and reshape until something elegant emerged. She had dozens of self-made outfits in her tiny apartment, none of which she wore to work. It was easier to blend in. One Friday, after Brianna's particularly rude email about how slow HR was, Emily left work early and wandered into a little fabric shop near the Blue Line. There she met Mrs. Kwan, the elderly owner. "First time here, Mrs. Kwan asked, smiling. "Yeah," Emily said shyly, running her fingers across a bolt of raw silk. "I sew as a hobby." The woman tilted her head. "You have the hands of someone who's serious." Emily smiled politely. "Not really. You will be, Mrs. Kwan said matter-of-factly. "You just don't believe it yet." It was such a strange thing to say. But it stayed with Emily. That night, she began working on something she'd never dared before. A full dress from scratch, based on a sketch she'd drawn years ago, a black cocktail dress with asymmetrical ruffles and deep plum lining. She stayed up until 3 a.m. sewing, her fingers aching, heart racing. Something inside her cracked open. For the first time in years, she saw herself, not as a background character, but as someone with a story to tell. The office party invitation. 2 weeks later, an office memo announced the annual company holiday party. Cocktail attire. Rooftop venue. Guests welcome. Emily usually skipped these things. No one cared if she was there. But this time, she stared at the screen for a long time. Maybe. She looked toward her closet. The black dress she'd finished last week hung like a secret waiting to be revealed. Something stirred. Fear. Hope. A thread pulling her toward something new. Saturday night, the reveal. The night of the party, Emily stood in front of her mirror, heart hammering. She had done her makeup following a dozen YouTube tutorials. Her hair was curled and loose. And that dress, her dress, fit like confidence woven into fabric. She looked, not like herself. But maybe this was her. Just the version no one had let her be. At the venue, she stepped off the elevator and into the soft buzz of laughter and music. The rooftop was glowing with fairy lights. People turned when she walked in. And they didn't turn away. Silence fell around her like the parting of a curtain. Brianna nearly choked on her champagne. Is that, Emily? No one said anything cruel. They didn't have to. Their stunned expression said enough. She walked slowly, head held high, every step defying the years of being ignored. Mark from IT, who had never spoken more than a grunt to her, suddenly appeared. "You look amazing," he stammered. "Thanks," she said simply. Later, Nancy approached her with a tight smile. "I didn't know you could clean up so well." Emily met her gaze. "Maybe you didn't care to notice." Nancy blinked, then walked away. Emily stood near the edge of the rooftop, gazing at the skyline. For once, she didn't feel like a shadow. She felt real, alive, seen, and though no one said it, she knew she had taken back something tonight. Her dignity, her power, her story, backlash and the seed of change. The next Monday was awkward. People kept glancing at her like they didn't know what box to put her in anymore. The jokes stopped. The memes died. Even Brianna avoided eye contact. Emily didn't change overnight. She still wore budget clothes, still ate alone most days. But something had shifted. She began wearing her own designs to work, subtle at first. A blouse here, a pencil skirt there. People noticed. Then one day, she got an unexpected email. From Brianna@crescentmarketing.com. Subject: Dress from party. Greater than Hi Emily. Sorry if this is weird, but that black dress you wore to the holiday party, was it designer? It looked amazing. If you have any idea where I can get one like it, let me know. Emily stared at the screen and smiled. She clicked reply. Greater than Hi Brianna, thanks, I actually designed and made it myself. Let me know your size. I can sketch something similar for you. Best, Emily. That moment changed everything.